9. It seems like this 50, 75-page thing, and point number 1 was there's no military solution. This is in 2009, before we do the huge surge in Afghanistan, 100,000 people. Holbrooke writes and President Bobby says there's no military solution. That's point 1. Point 2 is we need to have a surge. And it's like, you know, how do we get this? And even now, if you ask, if everybody in here were a general, and we opened it up, and everybody was being honest, and we said, is there a military solution to Afghanistan? I don't think we'd get anybody to raise their hand. The generals are all admitting it, and yet they still want to send our sons and daughters over there thinking, oh, we'll get a better negotiated settlement. I call it the Vietnam village strategy. If we take one more village, they'll negotiate. We just need to bomb one more, take one more village, we'll get a better negotiated peace. And I think in the end, the peace probably won't be that good, but the war's not that great either. I mean, and that's the hard part, is figuring out as we leave Afghanistan, people want it to be perfect. They want it to be peaceful, the democratic government stays in power, the Taliban peacefully becomes part of the parliament. And it's hard to promise people that it's going to be perfectly rosy. I guess maybe just in comparison to what we have, which isn't that great either.
Well, you know, the part of this that you really hit on, what you were saying, has to do with mission creep. I mean, really, when we went into Afghanistan, we were very clear. I mean, President Bush, first of all, talked about, and I haven't heard this term in a long time, terrorist organizations of global reach. So he talked about global reach. And so what he was...
That's your answers.
No, those are the questions. Admitted to each other. And secondly, you know, we should be talking about that. I mean, what he was talking about in the biggest possible way was if the organization is organized, has resources, it has the capability and the skill to be able to get out there, we should be worried about it.
Thank you.
We should be watching them and figuring out what our strategy is going to be. But the other side of the coin is why aren't we working with countries around the world to try to see that there's less terrorism through diplomacy, as you talked about? I mean, why they don't assume some of the responsibility? Is every single terrorist in the world our responsibility? I don't think so. I don't think we want to be the world policeman when it comes to that situation. So, I'm wondering what your thoughts are on Iran and where we go on that, because it seems to me we're building up to another war there. And I don't know whether it's going to be presented to us in the Congress, which it should be, which you and I believe if we're going to go to war in Iran, we ought to have the Congress weigh in. We ought to have hearings. We ought to learn all about what the issues are, but we ought to be exercising our Article 1 authority. And that's one of the ones we've been working on together.
I'm with you. I'm very concerned that people gloss over the idea of regime change and think that regime change, you know, they'll greet us as liberators in Iran and they'll just love the fact that we're coming. In fact, sometimes it's the opposite. The people actually rally together when they see outsiders coming, and they rally to repel outsiders as opposed to thinking it's a great idea. Sometimes we hurt freedom movements also by supporting them, because then through nationalism, people are like, oh, if America's supporting you, we don't want to be part of that movement. But I've talked to the president a lot about regime change, and I listen to things he says. And the one thing that he says over and over again, and I think he's been consistent for a decade or more on, or longer, is that the Iraq War was a mistake. He says it was the biggest geopolitical blunder of the last generation, and I agree with him. But it's not always the same logic I hear from him or his administration on Iran. They're sometimes, to my mind, maybe a little bit flippant that we have, not only have to get tough, but we will go and do something with Iran, and I think it'd be a big mistake. And I think the Iraq War created a big vacuum, changed the balance of power. I think the Iran War, a bigger, more populous country with more of a military, would also win. I mean, we can win any war, but at what expense? And so I do worry about that, and I think the general principle of the Iraq War being a mistake, my hope is to try to influence administration to believe that the idea of regime change has generally been a mistake in Libya or wherever else we've done it, not just in Iraq. And we'll see where it goes, and I think it's important that we all make our voices heard, to make sure that people don't think it's going to be a walk in the park just to have a regime change in another country in the Middle East.
Just for the record, I voted